Hey guys, it's Mel, and this is the Millennial by Mel podcast. This episode is sponsored by Let It Be Pots and More, and will be MillenniYelling with owner Jess Singer about her business and life. I'm here in Linglestown, which is, a lot of you know, my old home away from home. And I'm here with Jess Singer with Let It Be Pots and More. Jess, what is your business about?
So my business is about me getting my hands on anything that I can to paint on, whether it's flower pots, wine glasses, canvases, clipboards, coasters, a traffic box from downtown Harrisburg and
yeah. That was awesome.
Anything I can get my hands on to. I just love to make it colorful, patterns, and then add a little bit of meaning to it as well, with the hidden words inside.
Awesome.
And everything.
So your studio's here in Mud Queen. A lot of you guys know I had a Made to Keep right across the street here in my little studio there. So I feel very good and sad at the same time to be back here. But we're in her studio, and I definitely want to show off some of your books that you've done. So how did this all come about?
So it came about on kind of, you wouldn't wish this upon anybody, but it ended up being a good thing. So I was in a relationship for about 2 years, and then on Easter, my ex decided to kind of ghost me. Not kind of. I mean, he said, like, I can't do this anymore. And then I've never seen or heard from him since.
Wow, well that is good. Like, I didn't even know what ghosting was until maybe 2 years ago when it happened to me as well.
I was very blindsided by it, and I was so devastated and crushed that the only thing that made me feel better was painting. And so the next day, like, I couldn't get out of bed, but my mom said, what can I do? What can I bring? And I was like, actually, can you go get me flower pots?
Really?
And I started painting. I put words on the piece where it would say, like, believe or hope, or just words for myself. And then I paint the design around it with black, so it kind of blends in. And then when it's all done, you can't really see the word anymore. It kind of morphs into the design, because the importance of it is really was for me. I ended up painting the flower pots, and I posted them on Instagram, and people were like, wow, those are awesome. I want one, I want one, I want one. And it really took off from there. So I kind of made the lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
All of those metaphors, you kind of have to go through it, and it helped me kind of cope in a healthy,
right? It was therapeutic, right?
Way. It kept me busy, and then I was like making something beautiful, even though I was like feeling so crappy.
I never asked you this, but time out real quick, because I've known Jess for a couple years. I saw what she was doing, and I fell in love with it, and I said, would you be willing to donate some? And I'm gonna buy my own, because I wanted to as a small business owner starting out and an artist. I wanted to buy them. Well, there were 2 different sets, and when I picked them up, she said, no, it's all a donation.
Yeah.
And I was obviously very thankful, and I've continued to, promote you and this is why I'm here, because I've seen you grow. I just wanted to give some history on how we knew each other, and that the fact that you give back to a lot of.
I really try.
And that I think is really neat in obviously how you started and helping people. But were you into art? Like, were you an artist before?
Yeah. So I'm actually an elementary art teacher.
I knew you were art teacher. Yeah.
So I went to Penn State and got my degree in elementary I'm actually K-12 certified. I just love the elementary school kids. So I've been teaching in the Central Often School District for the last I say 9-ish years because they did a bunch of layoffs the one year, and I was one of the teachers that got furloughed for a year.
Okay.
So I still stayed within the district, but not as a
Right.
So I always I'm like 9-ish
Right.
years because technically
You're still there, yeah.
Technically that year doesn't count. So yeah, art's always been in my background, but I would say I'm a bit of an oxymoron because I grew up playing like sports and my family owns a gym, and it was not like I was like fully immersed in the
fine arts
world
and,
and like going to museums all the time.
Right,
That wasn't really, but I just love it, and I'm drawn to painting and color and ceramics and
nice.
just taking something that could be ordinary and just like making it more beautiful, or I just love.
Well, it sounds like too, you want other people to do that too. You want other people to do, that for themselves, and you've, what are the classes? You started to do some classes, I know, over the years, is that for part, the location will have you come, we were just talking about a birthday party that you're doing. What are the classes all about?
So I work the Vineyard and Brewery in Hershey has been wonderful. They have me come in whenever. Really, if I reach out to them and say, "Hey, I have an idea. Can I do canvases this time?" They're like, "Yep, sure. Get us the write up," and then it goes out on Eventbrite and it's posted, and then they can sign up and do it. What I love, they also let me, like you said, I like to give back. So I've done several events where a portion of the ticket sales will then go back to charity.
Oh,
so
nice. That's awesome.
My very first event there was when I did my Drink Cocktails and Color.
I love it.
My coloring book. It's actually
show them.
Yeah,
definitely show them.
So this is the Drink Cocktails and Color book, and I dedicated it to my good family friend who had passed away, but I'm still very close with his daughter and his wife and his sons, and they do a memorial golf tournament in June. So I was able to donate from the ticket sales. We had like 90 people come and show up.
That's awesome.
And donate to the Wolfie Golf Tournament.
Nice.
So, and I've done that, and the Jordan Hill Foundation, the Ryan Mon Foundation, which he's out of Steelton as well.
That's awesome.
So being able to, because I feel like this is icing on the cake. I have a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
This business brings me joy, and it does bring me extra income.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's important for me to give back. And if people are spending their hard-earned money to come to me, I feel like I need to give back.
Right. That's
as well.
great. No,
Yeah.
I love that. So
not all of them are. Not
right.
all of them
right.
are.
So profit, right?
Right.
We all got it. Yeah. So too. I'm curious about your schedule and your time here, because with me, I've always had full-time job, maybe something on the side, committees, organizations, like been involved. How are you keeping up with the schedule? Obviously, studio here, full-time.
Right.
How do you manage the time? Because I know I still don't know what the heck I'm doing.
So I always say that I can never fire on all cylinders. I might be really close, but I can't get there, and I don't think any human at any time is firing on all cylinders. So I'm happy. I'm in a relationship. I have a great family. I love my job right now, but I've really sucked at coming in and working in the studio. Okay. When I signed the lease last September, I signed the lease in September, and then I met my new boyfriend in the last day of September, and I just wasn't expecting it, and it was timing, and I was like, oh, you're gonna work in your studio all the time. Well, what else are you gonna do? And
you have all the time in the world,
You're gonna be at the studio all the time, and then it was like, oh, but I want to hang out with him, and I want to do these things. And not saying that I got lost in my relationship with him, because I didn't. I still had my own things, and we are Penn State season ticket holders, so I'm up at Penn State, and just till you put it all together, the one thing that I kind of not regret, but like I lack is getting in here.
Right.
I still have my artwork here, and I still will do small, like I've done some small group classes here down below, where there's been like 10 of us, 8 of us, and it's very individualized. So like at the vineyard, everyone's painting or doing the same thing. If you schedule a smaller party with me, maybe you want to do a flower pot, but your sister wants to do a wine glass, and your mom wants to do
a plate.
Like it's more specialized here, and you can kind of sign up for what you want here.
Okay.
So I did a couple of those classes where some of the women did like a wine glass and then an alcoholic coaster. But other than that, I haven't spent the time in the studio actually working. And when I prep for my big vineyard events, because sometimes I have 35, 40 people painting, and I prep everything because I paint the design on first.
Oh wow! So then you're doing a lot.
It's
Are you doing that
easier
here?
for me to do it at my house.
Okay.
Because I have to load it all up to take it there anyway.
Do you find it's maybe not necessarily a routine? Because I find that when I get away from doing something or like habit, I get a little bit off. But then once I get something that excites me into what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, I'm back, I'm on fire.
Yeah.
And then I find that I'm,
Right.
maybe it's just in a sense like routine or,
And then it's like, again, and we all have these struggles. Like, all right, well, now I also need to figure out when I'm going to go to the gym. And when I'm going to clean my house and when I'm going to cook dinner. And I don't know how people do it also, like, with children.
Right.
And
I say this,
like, I just have to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Now, I am a homeowner and I own the house by myself and I'm by myself. So, like, I still have a lot of responsibilities on my own. But yeah, then I find it like I just can't get it going on everywhere.
Right.
And
Well,
somewhere has to, and right now, unfortunately, it was being actually in this
Right.
still very busy with my business, but not actually in here and like producing work and which is
and I think that
bit of a bummer.
it doesn't mean that it's like that all the time. It's just it's kind of waves.
It ebbs and flows.
Yes, I mean, because I say the same thing. I mean, even just getting out to watering the plants every day. I literally put a jungle outside. I'm sure people have seen pictures. And I'm like, why did I do this? Because, if I, in the summer, 3 days go by and they're dead, So even just those little things. And I say the same thing because I don't have kids. And it's like, I was go, go, go and on. And I said, how would I even have a family and kids at this point?
Right.
And I think, I've made some changes in my life to step back in certain things. But you question what has to take a hit. I mean, and then something comes up, with family, and you're spending more time here. Your time has to be less over here, and I think it is a balancing act. And I think maybe just coming in here today will get you excited to be back in here.
Coming back in here.
And you have your party. You have your party coming up, so maybe that'll.
Yeah, I'm doing a birthday party October 22nd, and we have about 20 painters, and they just finished the barn out back, and so I can have bigger groups here, and it's BYOB, and you can bring food, and it's gonna be a really great experience. And again, when it's a smaller group and it's here, I can customize the party, so not everybody has to paint the same thing. So even if you've been to one of my events before and you did wine glasses, well, maybe this time you want to paint a flower pot or you want to do something different. So I can really customize it if you have a party here at Mud Queen. When it's at the vineyard, it's one piece. You can still customize it, but it's all flower pots or all wine glasses.
Right. And it's good. It's nice to personalize to each person and what they want, and they'll get maybe a little bit more excited that, hey, I'm going to actually use this, or hey, I'm going to, want to do that. So,
and my pieces are functional. I overheard a lady Sunday. I was at the vineyard and we did flower pots, and I just overheard the one lady saying, like, this is functional. I can put a flower in it.
Right.
Whereas and this is nothing against people who do the canvas painting. Those are wonderful. But they're saying, like, I never actually hang them up, or they might be seasonal and they forget to hang them up the next season. But a flower pot, like they'll put, it's a good one for like succulents or things you can't kill very easily.
No, I agree 100%.
And so it's functional. Or you can drink out of your wine glass on Friday nights or during the week.
Yeah,
so.
I have mine out and I use it for decoration and I actually use it to drink out of. So, but it's funny that you say that about the canvas because I'm not a painter. I'm more graphic arts. I do the invitations and do graphic design, but I went to one of those with some businesswomen, and I just said I'm not going to hang this up on my wall, and I felt that I think it's the experience,
right?
But I ended up doing it for my mom, and it was a fall colored tree, and I ended up just making it cherry blossoms. I went way off script, but I know my mom loves it, and I did it for her as a gift, and that's the really but for all obviously for this, I mean the vases and I see a different shapes, and I see a dog bowl over there.
Oh yeah, so Capples. We did that at the vineyard. I think
that would be way different than beer. I'm looking around, and we'll have some pictures and stuff. Up on Facebook and Instagram.
I said, like whatever I can get my hands on. There's some pharmacists at Penn State Hershey Med that sponsor families during the holidays and do stuff like that. So that will help them fund some of those activities to give back for the holidays.
Nice.
And then also the Ryan Lee Mon Foundation. So I had mentioned Jordan Hill. He played for Penn State and then Seattle Seahawks, and he's out of Steelton. His wife, Kristen, his brother passed away. He would be our age as well.
Okay.
And so they constantly are doing things as well. So we're talking about doing holiday plates.
Oh, nice.
Vineyard, and brewery.
These are great.
And we don't have a date set for that, but last year we did ornaments. And we had like 50 painters, and then they decorate the giving tree, and
that's really cool.
Yeah,
so it's a great cause. Obviously, it's fun experience, and then you take away.
But the challenge was we don't want to do ornaments again this year. What could we do next? And we thought about like cookie plates.
It was just to say cookies and milk. For Santa, so that'd be great.
Challenge me. I like when people. I've done gumball machines.
Well, let everyone know about the box.
The traffic box.
So what was that?
Last 2 summers ago.
Was it the Downtown Improvement District that put it on?
The Sprocket Mural Works.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure because I know the DID, they were advertising a lot for it. So
Sprocket Mural Works, they'll do a call for artists, and not spring 2019, but spring 2018. They put out for a call for artists. And I did my design, and I'm born and raised in Harrisburg, not the city limits, but in Harrisburg. And I grew up going to Senators games and, going downtown Harrisburg. And just, I'm proud of my city. I get defensive when people move away from here and then they bash Harrisburg.
Right.
I'm like, well, this is my hometown, and I'm proud to live here and all. So I kind of drew from that, and the words on my traffic box, which is on 2nd and Pine, kind of diagonal from Federal Tap House, are all words that have to do with Harrisburg. So because my traffic box was on 2nd and Pine, you can find, like, it becomes almost like a word search and try and find, so there's like Strawberry Square, Harrisburg, home, 717, Senators. I have some other little hidden words in there as well.
That's cool.
But it was the coolest thing I've ever done. I had so much fun. I was able to paint during work hours, so I was down there for hours at a time. The hustle and bustle, people coming up and talking to me. I had so much fun. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done.
And you have a piece of art. And you have a piece of art that's going to be there for a very long time.
Yeah.
You have you made an impact, and I think it's exactly like these wine glasses and things that you do that have the words that mean a lot to you, that Harrisburg means a lot to you. And you were able to put that on a piece of equipment in Harrisburg and turn it into art with other people that to beautify the city. So I think
one of the coolest feelings is thinking, like, they said, like, this could last like 10 years. Now they might get sick of it, paint over it, and do it again. I don't know. But they said, like, the paint that we use, it could last 10 years or so. And I was like, fast forwarding in 10 years, like, I could show my kids, like, hey, look, mommy painted that. Isn't that so? And, like, that brings me a lot of joy and pride and everything. So that was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
That's really neat because, too, I think some of your work is, you know, the pieces that you have them here, they're in people's homes, you know, but that's actually a landmark. You know, it's something that's there. So it's probably different. It probably you know, it has just a
it's
different
out there for
meaning
everybody to see
than all of these, you know, all of these.
Right.
We had so much fun MillenniYelling. It'll be continued in part 2. Please stay tuned.